What's going on? Aquarian Goddess, what's up, beloved? So good to see you. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go. What's up, Rhonda? So good to see you. Brandon, let's get it. Let's get it, let's get it. It's showtime. It is showtime. Salil, let's go. So good to see you all. Good morning, good morning, good morning. That part right there, Rhonda, all is well, all is well, all is well. Everything is in a mess and all is well. Your mind creates the mess, not reality. What's going on, honey, man? So good to see you all. Peace and blessings to you all. Rocco, my brother, what's going on? What's up, Brian? So good to see you. Niche, so good to see you. So good to see you all. What's up, Moni? So good to see you, Moni. So good to see you. What's up, Kia? Tracy's in the building. T. Benz is in the building. You guys do me a favor. Let's get share the live to your stories if you haven't already done so. Please, I would appreciate it. Share the live to your stories if you haven't already done so. What's up, Maywood? So good to see you. Got my Tara in the building. Got my Tara in the building. What's up, Kev? So good to see you. Fantabulous is in the building. Let's get it. Paulina's in the building. Let's go. What's up, Nels? Bianca's in the building. Let's go, B. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Do me a favor, share the live to your stories real quick if you haven't already done so. No tappers, please. Please, please, please do not use tappers on my live stream, please. You're hurting me, not helping me. George, what's up, George? So good to see you, family. Again, please do not use tappers. You are hurting me, not helping me. Do not use the little devices that tap the screen for you, please. Yeah, if you're not already following me on LinkedIn, I need like 20 more LinkedIn connections so that I can stream live to LinkedIn. So if you are not currently following me on LinkedIn, follow me on LinkedIn. Coach Jordan Williams on LinkedIn. What's up, George? So good to see you, buddy. So good to see you. So good to see you. Beauty Pete, let's go. LG, let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Miriam is in the building. Let's go, Miriam. Let's get it. Shauna's in the building. That part right there. That part right there. LG. That part right there. Yeah. Mira. Yeah. Same name, Jordan Williams. Pin that up there for me real quick, Tara, if you would, beloved. And then, yeah, you guys, I need like 20 more connections on LinkedIn. You don't have to engage with anything that's happening on LinkedIn, but in order for me to stream live to LinkedIn, I need to get 20 more connections because we're streaming on multiple platforms right now as we speak. Reese's Pieces is in the building. Yep. We love to be seen, but we don't want to be watched. Big difference between the two. We love to be seen, but we don't want to be watched. What's up, Red? So good to see you, beloved. We love to be seen, but we do not want to be watched. What's up, nephew? So good to see you. What's up, Ann? Big homie. So good to see you, big homie. Let's get it, big homie. Yeah, Reese's Pieces. Yep, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Let's get the likes up, you guys, so that we can get the medicine out. Do me a favor, share the live to your stories. If you haven't already done so, share the live to your stories, please. If you haven't already done so, I would appreciate that. And if you're not currently following me on LinkedIn, do me a favor and follow me on LinkedIn so that way we can start streaming on LinkedIn as well. We got to get the medicine out. Bottom line, we got to get the medicine out. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. That has to be your mindset. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. That's it. That's my mindset. And from the moment I wake up to the moment I go, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. We got to stop waiting on other people to come rescue us, waiting on other people to come save us, waiting on other people for all these things. No, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. That has to be your mindset, because it's not going to come from you. Who's it going to come from? Seth, hey, my brother, so good to see you. So good to see you, family. I'm telling you, that's my mindset. From the time I wake up, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. I'm not waiting on people anymore. Weight broke the bridge. Don't forget about that. Weight is what breaks bridges. So all that weight you got going on in your life, that's what's hurting you more than anything else. All of that procrastination, that's what's hurting you more than anything else. All of that crazy, all that pausing you doing, that's what's hurting you more than anything else. Your ego has convinced you that you got 1,000 years to live your life, so you don't value today. You don't move through life with urgency, with the urgency that you should. That's what's hurting us more than anything else. We don't move through life with urgency. The reason why you don't move with urgency is because your ego's in control of you. Your ego has you. I move with so much urgency, it's gonna blow your mind. If you could just be a fly on the wall and watch how I move through life, I move through life with urgency because I understand that I'm not promised tomorrow, which makes today extremely valuable to me. Today is the most valuable day in history because you're not promised tomorrow. So why are you not valuing today? Why are you not placing a high level of value on today? Because your ego has convinced you that you got forever. Your ego has convinced you that you got tomorrow and next year and 5 years from now and 10 years from now. It's hurting you. I'm telling you now. Your ego is tricking you out of your greatness. You don't realize it. That's why we don't move through life. That's why you're not moving with urgency in your life. You're not moving with urgency in your life because your ego has tricked you that you got tomorrow. See, what makes tomorrow valuable to the self-aware person, what makes today valuable to the person that's self-aware is we understand we're not promised tomorrow. So I'm trying to get everything done today. I'm not even promised the next 5 minutes from now. So I'm trying to get everything done today. That's why I flood the community with information. I flood the community with information because I don't move like I got all day long to get it done. I got all the rest of this year to get it done. All the rest of this month. No, I got today. That's what I got. If you don't like your life today, what are you going to do about it? If you don't like your relationship today, what are you going to do about it? If you don't like what's happening at your job, what are you going to do about it? If you don't like what's happening between you and your friends, what are you going to do about it? Stop talking about it and start moving. What are you going to do about it? Bottom line, what you going to do about it? I'm telling you, there should be so much value placed on today because you don't know what's happening tomorrow. You aren't promised tomorrow. That's why I value today. Which means I don't have time for low vibrational conversations. I don't have time for low vibrational people. I don't have time for toxic relationships. I don't have time to show up small. I don't have time to shrink in the moment. I don't have time to not live out of my authenticity. I don't have time for that. All that requires time. I don't have time for that. I got this moment right now. So I got to show up as everything that I am in this moment right now. I can't show up as some lesser version of me because I'm worried about losing some person, but I'm not worried about losing myself. I'm not worried about losing me. Hell no. I got to show up and give you the best me. I appreciate that, beloved. Right? All right, let's get busy. Let's get busy. Alana, what's up, beloved? So good to see you. Silver CEO, so good to see you. So good to see you. Like Brock is in the building. So good to see you, Brock. And any other Mindset Master family that I missed coming in, peace and blessing to you all. What's up, Jazz? So good to see you. Leticia, so good to see you. Mama, so good to see you. Divine's in the building. Let's get it. Yeah, we got mountains to climb. Again, if you guys are using tappers, please do not use tappers on my live streams. Please, I'm begging. I believe in you, but I believe in him as well. But I can interact with you right now. So that's where my belief is coming from. Everything is only as real as you convince yourself it is. It doesn't matter what I say, because I can tell you anything in the world and you only gonna believe what you want to believe. So why would I waste my energy trying to convince you of what something is when you're gonna believe what you want to believe anyways? See, that's self-awareness. What's up, nephew? So good to see you, beloved. That's self-awareness. Self-awareness is when you stop trying to convince people about what's happening in your life and what's happening in your world, because those people are gonna believe what they want to believe anyways. Doesn't matter. People ask me questions. That's why I don't answer the question, because no matter what I say, you're gonna believe what you want to believe anyways. So why would I waste my time trying to convince you if something is real or if something is fake, when at the end of the day, you're going to go with your own belief because it belongs to you. It doesn't belong to me. So believe whatever you want to believe. Whatever you believe, I believe what you believe. Whatever you love, I love what you love. Whatever you hate, I hate what you hate. And in that way, we always have a synergistic relationship. When you stop wasting your whole life, when you stop wasting your life trying to impress people and trying to get them to see you a certain way and trying to get them to understand you, I got out of that business a long time ago. That's called stress. They answer questions at the DMV. I don't answer questions. You can go to the DMV right now. They're going to answer all your questions. I don't answer questions. Especially silly ones. So type me in the comments real quick if this is your first time on a live stream with me. You said you scream loud beats of you. Yeah, I just, you gotta deal with people how they dealing with you. That's why I tell you guys, you gotta embrace your light the same way you would embrace your dark. You gotta deal with people how they deal with you. Everybody doesn't deserve your light. Everybody's not going to be deserving of that. Sometimes you got to deal with people how they dealing with you. Let me give you the energy you giving with me. You show up, you playing slow. I'm gonna play slow with you. So for anyone that's new to the platform, welcome. My name is Jordan Williams. I am a certified life coach. I specialize in self-awareness and self-mastery. I specialize in relationship mastery, emotional intelligence, consciousness, helping my students and my clients all over the world become the greatest, strongest, and most powerful versions of themselves. I am also the best-selling author of this book. People ask me all the time, what qualifies you to be a coach? I wrote this book that's changing people's lives all over the world. If I don't do anything else, I could literally go sit down and not do another thing. And I made a deposit into this world that very few people can match. I can say that with my spirit. I can say that with my chest. I can stand in front of God right now and say that to him, and he couldn't deny it. He couldn't deny it. Anything else I do is extra. Because that's why we're all here, to make some deposit, some contribution, not to me. I already knew what was in the book. That's why I wrote it. So I didn't write the book for me. I wrote the book for people that I may never have an opportunity to meet in my life ever. And that book is changing lives all over the world. Okay, this is the book, The Secret of Awareness. How powerful are you ready to be? The book is available on Amazon right now, but I'm not here to sell the book. And I'm not here to sell myself. And I'm not here to sell you. See, that's the beautiful thing about when you have a coach like myself. I'm not trying to sell you anything because I don't need anything from you. Everything that I need, I get from God. I don't need anything from another person. Another person can't give me anything. And when you start walking through life with that mindset and with that understanding, everything in your life begins to change. You can value people and you can appreciate people and you can love people without needing anything from them, because that's what's hurting you. All of your suffering is coming from your expectations, all of it. You're expecting things from life. You're expecting things from people. You've got all of these psychological contracts placed on people. You're expecting the job to be a certain way for you, and people to be a certain way for you, and traffic to be a certain way for you. And you're expecting all of these things to be a certain way for you. And the problem with that is that when reality doesn't fit or meet your expectation, you punish yourself. The moment that reality doesn't live up to what you think it should have, based upon the expectation that you placed on it, or based upon the expectation that you placed on some person, you don't punish the person, you punish yourself. Because all that frustration lives in you. All of that anger you feel lives in you. It doesn't live outside of you, it only lives in you. So where's the emotional intelligence there? I'm just asking. Where's the emotional intelligence? And all of those things are indicators that you're not using your mind properly. That's what that anger is. It's an indicator that you're not using your mind properly. The depression is an indicator that you're not using your mind properly. The anxiety is an indicator that you're not using your mind properly. The fear is an indicator that you're misusing your imagination. All indicators, but you don't understand that because you lack the self-awareness to understand it. You don't understand why the things are showing up. You just run from it, or you suppress them when you show up because you don't understand what's going on. Everything in your life right now, every emotion you experience is an indicator that you are not utilizing your mind properly. You're not utilizing the awareness that you are properly. You're not operating and moving through life properly. That's what they are indicators for. They are check engine lights. Every single emotion that you have is only a check engine light. That's all it is. It's not the problem. It's pointing you in the direction of the problem. You think that it's the problem. So you go over here, talk to the therapist because you got all these emotions that you don't understand. The emotions are not the problems. The emotions are your allies. They're not your enemies. They're letting you know that the way you are using your mind is inaccurate. They're letting you know that the way you are using your imagination is inaccurate. They're letting you know that the stories that you keep creating about reality are false. There's no truth in them. All these expectations that you are placing on things, all false. You don't understand that? Everything is trying to teach you something. But we've been programmed, conditioned to just focus on what's happening in the world outside of us, so we don't understand what's happening in the world within ourselves, which is the most important world that you have. That is your most important world. Everything else is just a projection of what's happening in you internally. And if you don't understand your internal world, you can't possibly understand the external world. How can you understand the external world if you haven't mastered the internal world? That's why you got all that stress in your life. That's why you have the depression. That's why you have the anxiety. That's why fear is holding the steering wheel to who you are. That's why you got your ego personality holding the steering wheel to who you are. That's why you're still suffering from your story. That's why you're still suffering from your programming condition, because you don't know how you work. Now, you may know how that job works. I'll give you that. You may know how the car works. I give you that. You may even know how your relationship functions. I give you that as well. But if you don't know how you work, then you don't know anything. That's like me taking a road trip. I'll give you a good example of what I'm saying. Let's say I get ready to take a road trip. Okay. I'm getting ready to drive 1,000 miles to the other side of the country. I'm taking a road trip. And I get inside of my car and I start the car. Now I haven't left the driveway yet. I'm still in the driveway. So I go to start the car and all of the check engine lights are on. The temperature gauge light is on. The gas light gauge light is on. The oil light is on. The transmission light is on. All these lights are on. But I don't understand the car. So I put the car in reverse, very carefully back out of the driveway, put the car in drive, and I take off on my road trip. Midway through the road trip, I break down in the middle of nowhere, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm stuck now. Why? Because I didn't understand what the check engine lights were trying to teach me in that moment. I had no idea. That's how people are walking through life. They don't know why the check engine light came on called anxiety. They don't know why the check engine light called depression came on. They don't know why the check engine light called fear. They have no idea. And then we turn around and the very person that doesn't understand themselves, we add that person to our life and we call it a relationship. As if there already wasn't enough stress in your life. As if there already wasn't enough problems in your life. As if you weren't already dealing with what's going on in you. Now you got a whole human being in your life that you got to try to help them figure it out as well. What are we doing here? Your money won't fix your spiritual problems. Your PhD won't fix your spiritual problems. That MBA that you have won't fix your spiritual problems. The therapist cannot fix your spiritual problems. You are a spiritual being. You have spiritual problems. You don't have worldly problems because spirit doesn't come from this world. Every problem you have comes from you not knowing who you are, period. Every problem you have comes from you not knowing what you are and how you operate. If I hand you a device and you've never seen this device before in the history of your life, you ain't never seen the device. I just hand it to you. You don't know what it's capable of. You ain't got no idea. What can it do? You don't know. So instead of you coming back to me, the one that handed you the device to begin with, you go talk to your friends. They don't know any more than you about how this device works. They don't know any more than you. And then you go talk to the neighbor. Hey, John, how you doing, man? How do you think this device works? John doesn't know. He don't know any more than you. And then you go to the gym. You got a couple friends at the gym. So you pull up on them. Hey, you guys, I got this new device. What do you think it can do? They don't know any more than you. That's how we're walking through life. The only person that you can find out how this device works is the creator of it. If you don't find out from the creator of it, nobody else can tell you anything. Everybody else guessing. They're making assumptions about you. That's the best thing they can give you is an assumption. Can't give you facts. Facts come from God. Period. The only person that can tell me about me is him. Every person that I ask that's not him, I'm only pushing myself further and further and further out to sea. It's not bringing me closer to the truth. It's pushing me further away from it. I'm to talk to somebody else about something that they didn't create. But that's what we do. And then we'll take all of their little assumptions and all of their little opinions, and then we apply them to ourselves. And that's why people are walking around here mentally, with mental health issues. That's what's happening to us. You don't know what you are. You borrowing what you are from someone else. Who don't know who they are yet. They haven't even figured themselves out. How are they going to understand you? How can I tell you who you are if I haven't met myself that deeply? People can only understand you as deeply as they understand themselves. No more, no less. I said people can only understand you specifically as deeply as they understand themselves. They can only understand you at their level of consciousness, not yours. I can't have an appreciation for you if I don't have an appreciation for myself. I can't place value on you if I don't place value on myself. I can't understand you if I don't even understand me. But my ego won't let me tell you I don't know. Oh, no. Oh, that ego is going to create a story out of no story. Do me a favor, you guys, let's get the likes up so that we can get the medicine out. Do me a favor and share the live. What's up, Raven? So good to see you, beloved. I'm telling you, that ego's a bad boy. That ego tearing you up. If you're not self-aware yet, or you're not at least on the journey to be, that ego is eating you alive and you don't see it. That ego is a bad boy. Woo! So happy I got rid of that. I see you, nephew. I'm so happy I got rid of that. Man, that ego. Woo! You talking about edging God out? See, that's the acronym that somebody created. I didn't create that. Somebody created that, but it's accurate as hell. Edging God out, because that's exactly what that ego is doing. It's edging God out. Got him all out the picture. I appreciate the gifts, you guys. I appreciate the gifts. All right, listen. Yeah, that's what that ego, that's that acronym for the ego, man. It's edging God out. And I mean, it's so accurate because that's really literally what it's doing. It's keeping you disconnected from spirit. It's keeping you disconnected from your divinity. What's up, Alice? So good to see you, beloved. That part right there, Silver CEO, in the back seat of the Suburban, my ego carry the bags now. You get to carry my luggage. That's what you get to carry. And be happy you getting to carry that. That's what you get to carry. You get to wash the dishes in the house. That's it. That's all. Be happy you doing that. If I even see you raise an eyebrow about doing that, I'm pushing you out, all the way out. You get to vacuum the floor. That's what you get to do. You get to vacuum. Be happy with that. That's how I talk to my, be happy with that. I'm telling you, that ego's a bad boy. Light you up if you don't know what you don't know. Yeah, I just don't feed it anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like everything, see, that's the big, I'm glad somebody said that. Deborah, I'm glad you brought that up, beloved, because that's the thing. You know, everything in your life right now, you are giving it a license to grow. See, we don't really realize that. Everything in your life right now in this moment, you are giving it a license to grow. If you have applied it to your life, you are giving it a license to grow. Which means what, coach? That toxic relationship is growing because you are giving it a license to. The disrespect in your relationship is growing because you are giving it a license to. You waking up to a life that you don't love is growing because you are giving it a license to. Everything in your life right now is growing. The $1 billion question is, are you? Because if you don't grow, nothing's going to change. That's how we get stuck in life. I appreciate that. That's the $1 billion question. I'm telling you, everything in your life right now, whether you want to admit it or not, everything that's in your life right now, just take inventory of your life. I'm not asking you to change your life right now in this live. I'm just asking you to take inventory of it. When you take inventory of your life, you're going to understand that anything that's in your life, you signing off on it. You're giving it a license to grow. You're giving it the platform to be there. It can't be there without your permission. You're the CEO. It can't be there without your permission. Everything that's in your life right now, you have given it permission. So if you got all this disrespect going on in your life, I'm blaming you. If you got somebody that's verbally abusing you, I'm blaming you, because every single thing in your life can only be there because you signed off on it. Nothing in your life I can't just walk into your life. It's humanly impossible. No person can. So we ain't gonna sit here and start doing a bunch of lying. No person can just walk into your life. Everything that's in your life right now, you signing off on it. So that verbal abuse, you signing off on it. The disrespect, you signing off on it. The life that you don't love, you waking up every single morning, you signing off on it. That job that you complain about all day long, you signing off on it. Anything that's in your life right now, anything that's connected to you, you signing off on it. So God is looking at you like, why do you keep praying to me? You hold the pen, you keep signing the contract. You know you don't have to sign. That's how he's looking at you. You know you don't have to sign. You keep signing for what you don't want. How you keep waking up to a life that you don't want day in and day out, and you signing off on it at the same time. That takes energy. Last time I checked, the same energy that it takes you to complain is the same energy that it takes you to change the thing you're complaining about. Did your earpiece fall out? Because every now and then, I know y'all got them iPods and AirPods and all of that. Just let me know if your earpiece might have fallen on that part. That's the part we don't like to hear. The same energy that it takes you to complain about whatever it is you're complaining about in your life is the same energy that it takes you to change the thing you're complaining about. See, you become powerful when you stop complaining and you reinvest that energy into changing the thing that you're complaining about to begin with. Then there's nothing to complain about. I had to learn that the hard way. I stopped complaining because I'm only punishing myself when you complain. And we don't realize that every time you complain, the only person you're punishing is you. hate my life. I hate my job. I hate my this. That's why your vibrational frequency is so low, because you're complaining and you're not taking action. You are a being of action. That's what God created you to do. He didn't create you to sit around complaining all day. He created you to act. The same way you put the thing there, it's the same energy that it takes you to remove it. The same energy that it took you to fall in love with the person, it's the same energy that it takes you to fall out of love. It's the same energy. Yeah, you ain't got time to complain. Complaining is weak energy. That's the weakest thing you can do. Who you gonna complain to? How you gonna complain to somebody else about what's happening in your life? And you the boss. That doesn't make any sense. That's like me calling you on the phone. I'm complaining about what's happening in my life. Who am I complaining to? Think about what you're saying. Who are you complaining to? The life belongs to you. It doesn't belong to the person you're complaining to. So the only thing they can do is sit there and listen to you. So you're not solving anything, but what you're doing is you're lowering your vibrational frequency. What you're doing is you're attracting more low vibrational people into your life. What you're doing is you're punishing yourself in that moment, and you don't want to realize it. Because you can't be complaining and be happy at the same time. You can't be complaining and have unconditional love flowing through you at the same time. You can't be complaining and have peace flowing through you at the same time. So so you doubly punishing yourself. I don't complain at all about anything because I'm only hurting me. Who am I hurting when I complain? All of that anger lives in you. The frustration lives in you. The unhappiness lives in you. So who you punishing when you complain? You think you punishing your boss when you complain about your position? You're not punishing him. He don't feel what you feel in that moment. Only you do. That's the part that, and if people really understand that, you stop complaining because you would understand I'm only hurting myself. That's like you get in the car, but before you go on that road trip, you poke holes in all the tires. You're not hurting the road when you poke holes in the tires. You're not hurting the other drivers when you poke holes in the tires. You only hurting yourself. That's what you do. Every time you complain, it's like you poking a hole in the tire, wondering why you never make it to your destination. I'm just keeping it 1,000 with you. Destiny, what's up, beloved? I'm just keeping it 1,000 with you. I'm not asking you to change anything. I promise you I'm not. My job is just to make you think. And if I make you think, I did my job. It's my only job, just to make you think. What's up, Dave? So good to see you, beloved. Yeah, Archie, that's it. But don't limit that to me, you guys. Every person in your life should be doing that because that's real help. See, help is not what somebody does for you because oftentimes anything we do is guided by our own self-interest. You got to understand that before a person becomes self-aware, you think that they're helping you. No, there's something, they benefit somehow, some way. That's why that person is helping you. Some way, somehow, that person is benefiting. One more time. Before we are awakened, before we become self-aware, everything we do is guided by our self-interest. I'm gonna help this homeless person over here, but I'll pass, 300 homeless people on this side of the road. Why? Because there was something about that homeless person that I wanted to help, right? And I got a positive stroke. See, what we don't understand is giving is receiving. Anytime you give, you receive a gift as well. And the gift that you receive is 10 times more powerful than what you gave. Anytime you give someone something, you get something as well. God gives you an internal reward, and no one can see that. So when you sit there looking at that person that's writing that big check for some charity or whatever the case may be, you like, oh, he's so nice. You're not seeing. That's your programming and conditioning talking. You're not seeing. You don't understand that the size of that check that he gave, he has an internal reward that he feels like the most valuable, the most confident. He feels like a superhero in that moment, but you don't catch that part. In that moment, that man feels like Superman, or that woman feels like Superman. Think about the last time you helped somebody. Think about what I'm saying. Think about the last time you helped somebody. Look at it. It's not just help somebody. Help somebody that really needed you at that time. Whether you help some old woman do something, you helped some old man do something, you helped some kid, you bought somebody a cup of coffee, some meal, you felt just as good as the person that was receiving the gift, if not more. So giving is receiving. You can never, that's how God works, that's how powerful he is. He'll never let you give something to somebody else and you don't get something in return. No, what you gonna receive, that's why he's so powerful. Think about what I'm saying to you. Do you know how God has to feel all of the blessings that he gets to watch us receive? He feels just as good as we do. That's why he loves blessing us. And that's what he's trying to transform you into, become the blessing. Make it out of your programming and conditioning. Because you're going to feel so good when you are genuinely helping people that really need you, beloved. You're missing it. You're missing the whole thing. He's trying to let you know, get in my business. Get in the business of giving. Get in the business of doing for others. Success isn't what you get. Success is what you leave. You got tricked. Success doesn't come from acquiring more material wealth or whatever. Success comes from the impact you leave on other people. Helping people transform their lives. That's success. Because all of that material success at some point in time is going to fade away. That car that you're chasing, eventually it's going to rust. That house that you're chasing, at the end of the day, somebody's going to end up owning that house once you expire. Everything that you're chasing right now, somebody will eventually own at some point in time in the future. It's all temporary. But real success, divine success, doesn't come from what you get. It comes from what you give. It comes from the kindness and the compassion and the wisdom that you deposit into every single person that you see, because they'll never forget about that. Look at how many people that you've loaned money to that totally forgot you loaned them money. They didn't forget about it. Why? Because that's not real success. Person walking past you 6 months later, a year later, totally forgot that I forgot you loaned me that money. Let me give it to you. Because that's not real success. But if you change that person's life, they'll never forget you. Never. They'll forget about that $20 you loaned them, but they'll never forget the fact that you changed their life. You don't see it. God is saying, get in my business. Get in the giving business, because the rewards are eternal. Get out of all that material, chasing all the material stuff. Don't get me wrong, having a nice car is nice, and having clothes is nice, and having jewelry is nice. We get all of that. But man, don't hang your hat on that. Don't hang your hat on that. It's way deeper than that. You cannot give without receiving. And the best kind of receiving is when you help someone that genuinely needed you in that moment. I'm talking about they didn't have anywhere else to go. Thank you, beloved. There was nowhere else for them to go. And you help that person. The reward is 10 times more powerful than anything they felt in that moment. I promise you. The most powerful thing you can do is to turn someone's lights on that was in the dark before they encountered you. Nothing is more powerful than that. Nothing is more powerful than that. Nothing. I'm telling you now, nothing. Giving is receiving. So when people, you got to understand that. And when before we become self-aware, everything we do is guided by our self-interest. Everything. So that person that's helping you, like, oh my God, thank you so much. They got something too. You just didn't see it. You only saw yours. They received something as well. That doesn't mean that you don't be thankful. That doesn't mean that you're not appreciative in that moment. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that they received something as well. And they helped you because somehow, some way it benefited them. Believe that. Somehow, some way, there was something that they're going to get from it, even if they want to cash in later on some opportunity or have something later that they can leverage when it comes to you. Somehow, some way, there's something there. It's only when you become self-aware and you start operating out of unconditional love that you're doing things from a place of unconditional love. I'm just dancing my dance. Like I told Alana, beloved, a good is never so good as when one has no idea that they're doing good. When you have become so powerful that you're helping people and you don't even know that you're helping people. Like right now on this live, I don't know who I'm helping. Somebody's being helped, but I don't know who that is. And it's not important. I'm just doing my thing. I'm just dancing my dance. But when you become the thing that God created you to be, you become so powerful that your life is impacting people and you don't even know that it's happening. It's like the sun. The sun is just shining on people every single day. It shines on good and bad alike. It doesn't care if you just got out of jail. It doesn't care if you are in trouble. It doesn't care if you don't have any money. It doesn't care because it doesn't need anything from you. It's a symbol. It's one of the best symbols that God has ever given us for what unconditional love is. We miss that. Think about what I'm saying to you. The sun is going to shine on you the same way it shines on Beyonce. It's going to shine on you the same way it shines on Jay-Z. It's going to shine on you the same way it shines on Taylor Swift. No difference. It's not going to give them a different type of light than you because your situation is not where theirs is. Okay, well, start moving through the world that way and watch how your life change. Stop liking certain people because they got this amount of money, and I don't talk to this person because he's homeless, because today's nobody can become tomorrow's somebody. Don't ever forget that. I'm an example of that. Today's nobody can become tomorrow's somebody. I'm a perfect example of that. I was the best at being the worst. Now I'm the best at being the best. Promise you. When you're dealing with God, don't get off of the material stuff. That's what's keeping you from seeing. You know, we treat certain people a certain way because they got this kind of money, this amount of money, or they may have this particular car, they may be wearing designer this. You treat them differently. See, your character is really being measured. What God is paying attention to is the size of your heart. He don't give a damn about what's in your bank account because all that comes from him. He doesn't give a damn about the size of your house because all of that's coming from him. He doesn't care about the car, clothes, and the jewelry because all of that's coming from him. What he's paying attention to is the size of your heart. How do you perform and how do you act when it comes to the people that can't benefit you? That's who you really are. How do you treat the people that can't benefit you, that you can't manipulate, that you can't get anything from, that you can't extract any value from? How do you treat those people when no one's watching? Because everybody want to start reaching in their purses and reaching in their bags. When we got people around and you see that homeless person, we want to look like a good person in the eyes of other people. Somebody, oh, she good, he's nice, he's this. That's all cap. It's all cap. It's cap. Who you really are in God's eyes is measured by how you treat the people that can do nothing for you when there's no one else around, when there's no one to perform for, when there's no cameras capturing the moment so that you can post it on Instagram. Look like you was doing something. That's what he's paying attention to. That's when I go the hardest. I go the hardest when nobody's watching. I don't even want to do it. If you're watching me, I don't even want to do it. If you're watching me, I don't want to do it. If he won't tell you nothing about, my son gonna show out when nobody's watching. That's when I'm gonna go the hardest. And the cold part about it is you can't fool anybody with that because only you know that version of you. You know that version of you. You know what that version of you was like. You know what it's like. You ain't got to put on for me. You know exactly what that version of you was like, who you become when no one else is around. I'm telling you, man, that's what your character, that's what awareness is all about. When I look at that person, I'm terrified. If I'm at that stoplight and I see that person, that's different if I don't have anything on me. That's different if you don't have anything on you because the thought is what matters. See, with God, sometimes it's not always about the action. It's what your spirit felt in that moment. What did your heart feel in that moment? What was your mind telling you in that moment? And you might reach for your purse and you may not have anything in your purse, right? And he understands that. It was the action for him. It was the thought that you entertained. It was the fact that you would have done it had you had the ability to do it. That's all. That matters more than anything else. When I pull off from some light, because we kind of have become this cashless society. I get that part. We don't really keep a lot of cash on us now. Everything is cards and this and that and debit cards and all of that. I get that part. So when I go to reach for my wallet and I don't have anything in there, I feel terrible. That hurts me, man. That right there hurts me more than anything else, because when I'm looking at that person, I'm looking at God. I'm looking at an expression of him. I'm looking at him sitting there in the cold, sitting there hungry, waiting to see what I do. That's how I feel. Doesn't matter what you believe right now. That's how I feel. I feel terrible. If I see somebody out in the cold, or I see somebody that has less, or I see somebody that's struggling, seeing a single mother, she can barely make it, I feel terrible. That's what he's paying attention to. What's the size of your heart? Not the size of your bank account, not the size of your house, not the type of car that you drive. What's the size of your heart? Measure people by that. Measure people by how they treat the people that can't benefit them. You're going to measure somebody by something. Don't measure them by how much money they have and how many movies they've made and how many billboards they're on, because society has programmed and conditioned us to see people through that filter. So we don't really see them. We only see them through their accomplishments. So you're not seeing the person. That person could be terrible as hell, could be one of the worst people walking on the face of this earth. You sitting there putting them on some pedestal in your mind because they didn't shot some movies or then won a few Grammys. Don't give a damn about that. What's the size of your heart, dog? That's who I want to know. You got the same person that's standing there on the cover of that Forbes magazine, sitting there on the Forbes magazine. I got 40 billion. I got 50 billion, but you didn't drove past 15 homeless encampments to go and take that picture for Forbes magazine. You never stopped there. You missed that part when I just said? I said, you sitting here on the cover of Forbes magazine, bragging about how much money you have. Oh, that's wonderful. But then you drove past 15 homeless people on the way to go take the picture, and you never thought to stop. So when I meet people like that, I don't want to know about your money, dog. I don't want to know about what you've done. I don't want to know about who you are. I don't want to know about what you know. I don't want to take a picture with you. I don't even want to be photographed with you. You sitting here stockpiling this money. You got people all around you starving. Yeah, they may not be in the gated community where you live, but they ain't too far from it, and you ain't never thought about them. You passing through all these low-income areas to get to your gated community, and you never thought about them. But you claim to love God. You claim to know him. Get out of here with that. It's all cap. Do me a favor real quick, you guys. Let's get the lights up so that we can get the medicine out. I'm telling you right now, that's what he's paying attention to. He's paying attention to your heart, because your heart is either reflecting him or it's not. Period. Your heart either reflects him. I didn't say your bank account. Your heart either reflects him or it doesn't. There is no in the middle. When it comes to God, no in the middle. You got people walking around you right now that has a heart that reflects his, and then you got people walking around you that don't. Start, if you're going to gravitate towards someone, if you're going to put somebody on some pedestal in your life, if you're going to go and you're going to follow somebody, follow the people that have his heart, man. Best people in the world. Best people in the world. Yeah, Rhonda, you know. All right, let's get to this live, man. We ain't even started the live, man. That's crazy. Man, this ain't nothing. I don't even know what I'm talking about right now because the spirit took all the way over this live. I had none of this was planned. I promise you. I promise you. Deborah, I'm telling you, beloved, I didn't have any. I just Alana, I'm blaming Alana. I'm blaming Alana because she started it. She asked me a question that really had me thinking, you know, and I'm joking, of course, when I say that, for as precious as she is, but no, I'm in fairness to the truth, she really did. You know, she asked me a question in the community, and it really had me thinking. Like I hadn't thought about that, and then it just spirit was like, you need to go talk about that. So credit to Alana. Shout out to Alana, our beloved. But I tell you guys this all the time. People trigger you, right? But when people trigger you, it's not always negative. You know, she triggered me in the right way. And you're gonna have people that trigger you in the wrong way. She was asking about help, right? And she was asking, you know, do we really, because in my book, I talk about, you know, we don't really help people in the way that you think you do, right? And so she was in her study group, in her shadowboxing group, they were kind of going back and forth about that, about what that means and all of that. Hopefully that gave her some clarification because, you know, with respect to everything she has going on, but that's really what it was all about. That's what that was all about. So Lana, I appreciate you, beloved, for even just opening that part of my mind back up. Okay, awesome. All right, let's get busy. Again, do me a favor. Let's get the likes up, you guys, so that we can get the medicine out. I appreciate that. Do me a favor, share the live to your stories if you haven't already done so. Share the live to your stories real quick if you haven't already done so before we go and dive into this live. I apologize for that. Let me tell you guys this. Stop loving with chains and start loving with wings. It changes everything. Stop loving with chains and start loving with wings. It changes everything. Okay, let's get busy. Let's get busy. We got mountains to climb. We got a lot of mountains to climb. A lot of mountains to climb. A lot of mountains to climb. I just want to tap into expectations real quick, because for me that's a big one. Expectations are huge, right? Because it's the mother of all suffering, and most people don't really understand that. Hopefully, I'm gonna try to testimony. I appreciate that, beloved. Love you as well. I want to try to just dive into some of this, you know, because we don't know what we don't know, and that's kind of the job of the coach, is to just bring certain things to the forefront of your thinking. So let's dive deep. Every time you expect someone to act a certain way, you lose energy. Every time you expect someone to act a certain way, you are losing power. You are leaking energy. It's one of the worst things you can do. And every time you accept them without expectations, you gain freedom. See, that's why unconditional love is so important to your life, beloved. Because when you stop loving yourself unconditionally, you won't expect anything from anyone. You'll let everyone be exactly what they are. And whatever you get, wonderful. Whatever you don't. But the size of your, watch this. The size of your expectation is equal to the pain you experience. The size of your expectation is equal to the size of the trauma you haven't healed from. So the more trauma you've experienced, the greater the expectation will be that you will place on other people. In other words, you're placing expectations on others because you still haven't healed yourself. But what you don't realize is that they can't be for you what only you can be for you. The person can't fix your internal problems from that external perspective. They don't have the power to do that. But we expect them to. And you place expectations on others because there are certain voids that you have within yourself. There are certain holes inside of you that only you can fill, but you think this person can do it for you. That's why you place the expectation on them. When you become healed, you'll stop placing expectations on people and you'll let everyone be free. Same way when you walk out in nature, you don't place expectations on nature. You let everything be exactly what it is. You let the trees be trees, the flowers be flowers, the animals be animals, and you don't expect anything from them, but that's why you enjoy it. When you go to the beach, you don't place expectations on the beach. You let the sand be the sand, you let the ocean be the ocean, and you just enjoy yourself. And you have the most fun because you're enjoying yourself. But when it comes to life, you don't do that. We don't let people just be what they are. We need them to be this. And that's why you got all that suffering. That's why you're so rigid. That's why everything is so difficult. Because when you're out in nature, you let everything be what it's supposed to be. When you go to the beach, you let everything be what it's supposed to be. But when you start adding people in your life, now I need you to be this for me, and I need you to be that for me, and I need you to be this for me, so that I can have peace, so that I can be happy. But that's not peace. And it's most definitely not happiness. When you can bring the same energy that you carry out in nature, when you can bring the same energy that you bring to the beach to your life, it's game over. You have never walked out on that beach and said, I need more sand on this side. Why is the water this color? We need to change the water so that I can be happy. You've never done that before. You just accept everything as it is. You accept everything as it is. And guess what you have? It's called a great time. That's what you have. But when it comes to life, you don't bring that same energy. You're not bringing the same energy, and that's why you suffer. Cat Lover, I appreciate that, beloved. See, what you got to understand is that resentment is the price that we pay for our own illusions. That's the price you pay. Resentment is the price you pay for your own illusions. And all of that resentment that you carry in your heart for whoever it is that may have hurt you in all of your yesterdays is only punishing you. The person is out living their life doing whatever it is they're doing right now. They're not even thinking about you. They don't even know you're suffering right now. But the anger lives in you. It's a three-step process. Number one, get in touch with the negative feeling. Number two, understand that the negative feeling is only in you. Number three, understand that you never identify with the negative feeling because it's a teacher in that moment. That negative emotion is coming to teach you something. It's a three-step formula. Once you master the three-step formula, you gain mastery over your emotions. Again, step one, get in touch with the negative feeling. Why? Because most people are depressed, but they don't even realize that they're depressed. And it's only when you come in contact with joy that you realize how depressed you were. Number two, understand that the emotion is only in you. It's nowhere else. So the one that needs to change is you. Your partner doesn't need to change. Your boss doesn't need to change. Your friends don't need to change. Your kids don't need to change. You are the one rejecting them. They're not rejecting you. And anytime you reject another human being, you're going to suffer. Why? Because that human being represents reality. You can never reject reality. You can only accept reality. And if reality is something that you don't want to deal with, then you need to disconnect yourself from that person. That's the only solution. But you can't get them to change, because if you try and get them to change, you're only trying to change them into what you want them to be. So now they're not being authentic anymore. They're not being who they really are, because they transformed themselves into who you need them to be. So yeah, it's benefiting you, but it's hurting them. So the one that needs to change is you. Reality doesn't need to change. You need to change. People don't need to change. You need to change. And when you change you, reality will change to match the change that has happened in you. And step 3 is you never identify with the negative feeling, no matter what's happening. Because the negative feeling is just a check engine light. It's an indicator that you're not reading the situation clearly, that your perception of the situation doesn't match reality, that there's some falsehoods there. Maybe you're clinging. Maybe you've become attached. There's something that you need to let go of. That's why the negative emotions show up in our lives, because there's something that no longer adds value to you. Everything that shows up that you consider to be negative is only coming because something in your life no longer adds value to you. So you're trying to fit that round hole into that, that square peg into the round hole. And that's what's causing you to suffer. And what's worse is you've applied hope. See, the problem with hope is this. Anytime that you start hoping, you're hoping for something better than you have right now, unless you wouldn't be hoping. But hope keeps you blind to reality. I hope my partner changes, but I'm ignoring their behavior in this moment. I hope my boss changes, but I'm ignoring the suffering that I'm experiencing in this moment. I hope this person values me or sees me, but I'm ignoring what's happening in the moment. That's why you don't apply hope to your life, because hope keeps you blind to what's happening in the moment. Damn what might happen tomorrow. What's happening right now? Damn who you want your partner to become in the future. Who are they now? Because who they are now is what's producing your suffering, not who they might become later. So I don't rock with hope. Hope doesn't get to ride with me. Hope got to get in the trunk. So you got to get all that hope out your life, because hope keeps you blind to reality. Because you're ignoring what's happening in this moment for something that may come in a future moment that you may not get the benefit from. You don't have no guarantees that that person's going to transform into who you need them to be. There are no guarantees. So what you got all that hope in your life for you? And then when you get to that place where you run out of hope, now you'll finally start seeing reality, but you could have saw reality right now. You didn't have to waste another year, another 6 months, another whatever the case may be. And that's what self-awareness is. Self-awareness is I deal with the reality that's in front of me right now. Not with some imagined reality, not with some previous moment that I can't edit anymore. I'm focused on the moment that's in front of me right now. What is this moment trying to teach me about this particular situation, this particular person, what's happening in front of me? That's it. Anytime you apply hope, you're hoping for something better than you have right now. And as you're hoping, you're ignoring what's happening right now, which means that you're not awakened, which means that you're still asleep, which means that you're living out of some fantasy, out of some illusion. That's what keeps us stuck. I tell my students, man, you got to get out of hope. You don't need hope. Hope is always imagined. It's something always in the future. You know why you have anxiety, right? Do you know? Let me see what the awareness is. Do you guys know why you have anxiety? Anxiety is one of the biggest things in the world. I can make the argument that anxiety and depression might be the two biggest negative emotions there are. No, I'm lying. Anxiety, depression, and fear. The three. Let's say those three. So read set expectations. Worried about the future. Thinking problems. You said something, Red. Red, you said something. Not being present. I love that. Character you build in your mind. Overthinking. Love that. You said something with the overthinking, though. Anxiety is a form of fear. Yeah, it is. It is. I like that a lot. I like that attachment. Ooh, you said something, Kev. Let me tell you why. I'm gonna tell you the real reason why. I'm gonna tell you the reason why nobody. I'm gonna tell you the reason why the therapist won't even tell you. I'm gonna tell you what the therapist won't tell you. Let me tell you why. My students should pick this up. Rocco, thank you, my brother. My students should pick this up. They should pick this up. Daystar, what's up, beloved? Hang on, you guys. I got a million people trying to jump in this live. Let me let this live. Let me let this little thing, this pop up, leave, and then I'll tell you. Remember, said the fear of losing. You said something. None of you guys picked it up. I'm surprised. I'm surprised. I'm surprised. I'm low key shocked. I'm low key shocked that none of you guys picked it up. What's up, Queen? What's up, beloved? I'm low key shocked. None of you, damn, they coming like SWAT team in this bad boy. I'm low key surprised none of you guys picked it up. You know why? Think about it. You're going to catch it. Think about it. Because it's predicated on something that's not real. Think about what I'm saying to you. It's predicated on something that doesn't exist. Spirit knows it doesn't exist. Soul knows it doesn't exist. But you've been programmed and conditioned to think past or future, psychological time. Think about what I'm saying. It's right in front of you, beloved. It does. The future or the past that's a man-made concept. God didn't create that. The future or the past only exists here on this earth. It doesn't exist anywhere in reality. In reality, in anything, any place outside of this planet, when you step off this planet, there's just now. There's just a perpetual now, which is all there is anyway. No matter where you go, there's only the perpetual now. So all of your anxiety, all of that mental energy, all of that brain energy, all of that power, you're projecting something onto something that doesn't exist. That's what Eckhart Tolle's entire book was about, the power of now. There is no other moment. There's no other moment outside of this one. So you having all these powerful thoughts about some imaginary moment that doesn't exist, in what spirit is doing and what soul is doing. It's rejecting that. That's like you trying to write a check and there's no money in the bank. They're going to keep sending the check back. Is that wrong with the actual paper check? But there's nothing in there. The check can't clear because it wasn't written on anything. There's no money in the bank. So the bank keeps sending the check back, keeps sending the check back. Okay, that's what's happening to you. You keep projecting these thoughts onto the future, but the future doesn't exist. So spirit is looking like, and spirit knows that, but you don't know that. We going off of our programming and conditioning. We're going off of psychological time. So because you're going off of psychological time, you're trapped in some future that will never happen. Ever. The future is right now. You're creating it with every single choice, every single thought, every single decision that you make. You are creating your reality. You created this one to qualify what I'm saying. Did you not create this moment? Yes or no? Did you not make a conscious decision to come and join this live stream? You created this moment. And when you make the decision to leave this live stream, you're going to make a decision to go somewhere else, and then you're going to create that moment. And then once you leave that thing, you may decide to go to lunch, and then you're going to create that. You the creator. But there ain't no other moment outside of this one. And so you caught up on something that happened in the past, and you're caught up on something that doesn't happen in the future, but those things don't exist, beloved. So you're suffering your imagination. Am I making sense? Because just because it makes sense in my mind doesn't mean it has to make sense in yours. So forgive me if it's not clicking for you. That's why you got all that anxiety. Because you're placing all of that powerful mind and brain energy that you have into something that's not real. A relationship would fall apart. Let's simplify it. A relationship would fall apart. If you're in a relationship with somebody and the person isn't in it like you, what do you think is going to happen? The relationship's going to fall apart. Okay, you're projecting all of these things onto something that's not real. What do you think is going to happen? Everything is falling apart. God is like, no. Shift your energy here to what's happening in front of you. Get out of some imagined moment that doesn't exist. Let go of your past. Your past is only real because you believe it. Well, why do I suffer from the past, coach? Because of belief. I keep telling you guys how powerful belief is. Anything that you believe in. Why do you think the placebo effect works? Think about what I'm saying to you. You got this woman laid up in this hospital, sick as I don't know what. They've given her every medication on the planet. Nothing can save her. Give her the sugar pill, called the placebo effect. What happens? Her belief in that pill cures her. But was there any medicine in there? No. Okay, well, what healed her? Her belief. So when you sit here believing in the past, you're going to suffer from all of that. Doesn't matter whether it's real or not, like the sugar pill. It doesn't matter if it's real or not. What matters is the fact that you believe it. That's the only thing that matters. Everything else is irrelevant. The fact that you believe it, that's all it took. Because your belief is so powerful, it will create experiences, even if the experience was only imagined in your mind. I'm just telling you where your anxiety is coming from. I don't believe in the future, not because it doesn't exist. I mean, I wish it does. Let me qualify just in case you're struggling. Can we go there now? Look how powerful you are. Look at how powerful you are as a human being. With all of your power, can we go there now? It's a simple yes or no. If the future is real, like they've been selling us our whole lives, can we get in a car right now and drive there? What city is it in? Where do we go? What do we put in the GPS? When we sit in the car, what are we going to punch into the GPS? We got to punch something in there. What do we put in this future? Are we going to put the word future and then we're going to just take off? Is the past real? Can we go there now? If we can't go there, that doesn't exist. Can we go there now? With all of your power and all of your education and all of the experiences that you've had, can we get in the car right now and drive to this place that you call the past? But look at how much energy you invest in it. Look at how much thought you invest in it. Look at how much belief you invest in it. But we can't go there. Can't go there. You know how many years of your life that you could get back If you would take the past and the future out of your mind, things that really don't exist, I understand, and I'm not blaming you. That's programming and conditioning. I'm not blaming you. I promise you, I'm not blaming you. You got programmed just like me. That's why awareness is so important. Because you stop living out of all these illusions. You know how much suffering you're doing? The average person is walking around. They're not suffering from the moment. They're suffering from something that happened in the previous moment. All of their pain is trapped in some memory of what they think is the past. All of their anxiety is trapped in their imagination of what they think is the future. That's what's hurting us. You're not hurting from this moment. This moment isn't hurting you. You just showed up in it. The moment isn't hurting you. Your trauma doesn't live in this moment. It lives in some previous moment that you call the past, but it doesn't exist. You can't edit it. You can't go there. You can't change it. You can't alter it. Why? Because it's not real. If I was walking down the street right now and you met me for the very first time, if I was walking down the street right now in some busy downtown city, Chicago, LA, New York, whatever, and I was walking down the street right now and you met me for the very first time, Coach, hey, Coach. And you walked up and I told you, I want to introduce you to my imaginary friend. And I'm playing craft serious. I'm telling you, I want you to meet my imaginary friend named Fred. Here go Fred right here. You looking like, Coach, ain't nobody standing next to you. I'm like, yeah, meet Fred. Shake Fred's hand. You gonna say, let me tell you what you're gonna tell your friends. You're gonna say, I met Coach. I couldn't wait to meet him, and I finally met him. And when I met him, he started trying to get me. You would lose so much respect for me. But that's what we're doing. It ain't no different. When you believe it in the future or you believe it in the past, it's no different than you walking around town with an imaginary friend. What's the difference? My imaginary friend isn't real, but the past and the future is not real as well. And you believe it in them just as much. So how am I crazy, but you not? How can you call me crazy for having some imaginary friend called Fred, but you don't call yourself crazy and you believe it in the future and the past all at the same time? I'm crazy, but you not. To the self-aware person, that's what they're hearing. It's the equivalent. When you're talking to the real awakened person, it's the equivalent, and you start talking about the future and the past, it's the equivalent of you walking up with some imaginary friend named Fred. It's no different to them. They're looking at you like, oh, this poor child, she don't understand. This poor child, he doesn't understand. That's all I'm trying to get you to, right? That part right there, Brianna. And it takes a certain type of person to give it to you in a certain way so that you see it, right? It's all in the delivery. If you don't deliver it properly, then people really won't see it. Delivery is everything when it comes to this, right? You got to paint that picture in a certain way that people, it becomes undeniable. Because if you don't paint it a certain way, they're going to look at you like you crazy. Like, what you mean you don't believe in the future? Can we go there right now? That's all you got to ask. Can we leave and go there now? That's the only thing that's going to snap them into the reality. Can we go to the past right now? Can we get in the car right now and go? Because if we can't go there, then what are we talking about? And you'll start to, and people will start, it'll start to click for people. Other than that, see, here's the problem. We don't date people. We date our expectations. We date who we expect them to be for us. That's what we date. It's all happening in your mind. One more time. We don't date people. We date our expectations. What you are truly dating is what you expect them to be for you. It's all happening here. And you're not choosing the wrong partners, you're creating them. You're creating your partners based upon your expectations. And you don't get abandoned in life. When people come into your life and they abandon you, they are only reflecting back to you the moments in life when you abandoned yourself. And we abandon ourselves oftentimes because we start transforming into what someone else needs us to be for them. And that's when we lose ourselves. And then you take that version of yourself and then you jump in another relationship with some other person. And then that person has to help you heal that version of yourself that had abandoned yourself to be what this other person needed you to be. Because you never healed that version of you. See, we get out of relationships and then we'll put ourselves in park, right? We get into this state of isolation and we start hanging out with our friends again, right? We start hanging out with our friends again and we start going to the gym. We start doing little things, but we never healed. Never healed. And in your mind, time heals all things. False. Time heals nothing. Time doesn't heal anything. Time is just moving through you. Awareness heals things. Emotional intelligence heals things, but time doesn't heal anything. Time has never healed anything. That's not what it's designed to do. But we've been tricked into believing, oh, time heals all wounds. False. Because if you haven't changed and nothing has changed, you got to understand there's only this moment. Time is a man-made concept. There's just now. Time doesn't exist in the universe. They're not going off our time on the moon. They're not going off of our time here on Earth, in Mars. They're not going off of that. Nobody's going off of that but us. All of these things are man-made concepts. So time doesn't heal anything. There's just this moment. It's the equivalent of you listening to your favorite song. Picture your favorite song. You listening to your favorite song, but you get a phone call. When you get that phone call, you hit pause. You can come back 3 years later, that song is going to still be on pause because nothing changed, right? And that's how you are. So when you get into a relationship and somebody scars you and you get out of the relationship, it's the equivalent of putting yourself, hit the pause button. So yeah, all this time has went by, but you still that same version of yourself. And then you get in the new relationship and then the pause button gets released. And then that version of you that got hurt starts to emerge again. Truth is at the door. I'm just telling you how you work, beloved. And here's the thing. There have been many versions of you, right, that have been in different relationships. I'm not saying it's your fault, but you have been in different relationships where that person hurt you, lied to you, cheated on you, betrayed you, was disloyal to you, whatever the case may be. And you jumped out of the relationship. You went and worked on yourself, but you didn't heal yourself. Because in your mind, you were just going to give yourself time. I don't want to be in a relationship right now. I'm going to just do me right now. Okay, wonderful. And you did that, but you still didn't heal yourself. So what happens is that when you jump in that new relationship, that version of you that never got healed, this person that you bringing into your life is an energetic match, not to this you that's showing up in the moment. They're an energetic match to that version of you that got hurt. See, that's what relationships are. The relationships are not designed to complete us. They're designed to reveal us back to ourselves. But we got programmed and conditioned to believe that the relationship was about romance and candy and flowers and date nights and Netflix and all of that. So we never understood what the relationship was all about. A relationship is a spiritual container where you have the ability to have yourself reflected back to you in a space that's safe with someone that you trust, where you can have companionship and you can have vulnerability and you can have love, but you can also work on yourself and heal yourself. And the same way that you reflect, they reflect you back to you, you reflect them back to them. So it's a synergistic relationship where we're both safe, where I get to have somebody in my life, but I have a place where I can grow, change, and evolve at the same time. That's what your partner is. I appreciate the gift, beloved. And that's why you want out of the relationship, because when you lack self-awareness, you're like, ooh, I'm gonna tell you how the man's thinking. Man, I'm so tired of my girl, man. She always irking me. She gets on my nerves. No, she don't get on your nerves. She's revealing you back to you. And you don't like what you're seeing. She's holding you accountable and you don't like what you're seeing. So guess what you do? You leave her And you leave her because you think, I'm tired of her. She nagging me all the time. No, she's holding you accountable. It's the best thing that could ever happen to you. Everything she's reflecting back to you, she's not complaining. She's revealing you to you. You take it as a complaint because you lack the emotional intelligence to understand what's going on. So you think in your mind, I'm going to go get me a new woman. And you do that. And that new woman that you go and get is going to eventually end up being everything that the woman you just walked away from was. She's going to be your mirror. Different face, same demon. Different face, same energy. Everything reflects you back to you. That's what it was all about. Had nothing to do with date nights. Had nothing to do with candy. Had nothing to do with walks on the beach. Had nothing to do with, will you open my door for me? Had nothing to do with chivalry. It's not about all of that. The relationship is a spiritual container where two people get an opportunity to enter into that relationship and come out changed on the other side, period. It can be more powerful than any therapy session. It can be more powerful than any coaching session. And we can both transform into unconditional love. Now, we may have started out conditional love. Well, I need you to do this for me, you do that for me, right? You say hi to me, I'll say hi to you. You love me, I love you. You be nice to me, I'll be nice to you. It starts out that way. I get that part. But the goal is to transcend that. That's the goal. We may have started out on conditional love, but the goal is to transcend the conditional love to get to unconditional love. And the only way that I can get to unconditional love is I got to start loving me first. And that's what the relationship puts you in a position to do, to start loving yourself fully and completely, but also to develop the ability to love someone else, beloved, to love someone else's wounds, to love their pain, to love their childhood trauma, right? To love their suffering, to love everything. Because now if I can love them like that, I can love the world like that. That's what it was all about, but nobody's ever taught us that. That's why you need self-awareness in your life, because it's going to teach you what this is all about. We listening to Hallmark cards and Lifetime movies, and we watching different celebrities and how relationship. That's Hollywood. It's not what a relationship is. A relationship is a spiritual container. It's sacred. And what happens in your relationship is private. It's exclusive. It's nobody else's business. It's nobody else's business. Only person I talk to about my relationship is God. If it's not him, I don't want to talk to him about it. Because can nobody else help me? He put the person in your life. So the only person you need to talk to is him, not your girlfriend, not your homeboy. The only person you need to talk to is him. That's it, that's all. See, we've been programmed and conditioned to believe that because people are together and have been together for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 50 years, that they got the secret sauce. False. That's not what that means. It just means that you were together for 50 years. That doesn't mean that you were together for 50 years and y'all was happy for 50 years. Grandma might have been happy for 5 years and been miserable for 45, but we don't understand that. So you think that they know some secret or whatever case may be, you sitting there listening to them. No, what worked for them or didn't work for them won't work for your relationship. You got to do what's right for you and your partner. And the only way that I can do what's right for you is I got to see you first. Let me see you past my desires. Let me see you past my attachments. Let me see you past the clinging. Let me learn to love you unconditionally. I got to see you first. How can I love you if I don't even see you? How can you love what you don't even see? Think about what I'm saying to you. How can you love what you don't even see? If I don't see your pain, then I don't see you. If I don't see your suffering, then I don't see you. If I don't see your childhood trauma, then I don't see you. If I don't see what's broken in you, then I don't see you. I only see how I benefit from you. Relationships fall apart because people only see how they benefit from you. People only see you how they need you. That's why they fall apart. The person never saw you. Yeah, they physically can see your form, but they don't know what's happening with you internally because they don't know themselves that deeply. Yeah, your woman is not nagging you. That's not what she's doing. She's reflecting you back to you. And you don't understand that. She's your mirror. It's the best thing in the world. She's your mirror. What did I say? You get a mirror, you get a window, and you get a door. Every person that enters your life is going to be a mirror, a window, or a door. She's your mirror. But she also has the ability to be your door. But she can also be your window at the same time. She's a unique being. She can be a window. Excuse me. She can be a mirror. She can be a window, and she can end up being your door. It's the most beautiful thing in the world, man. I'm telling you, when you truly understand she's the ocean, man, you got to understand that. She is the entire ocean. You are a ship passing through that ocean. So yes, her emotions will be moving. Oftentimes she's going to speak from a place of emotion, right? So it's important for you to understand that, not because she doesn't care, not because she's nagging you, but because she's a spiritual being. She's a divine being. You got to understand that. You got to appreciate her for what she is. She sees all of the flaws in your homeboys. She sees everything that's wrong with the people that has around you. And you think she just don't want you to hang out with certain people. She can see what you can't. You got to understand she's feminine energy, man. She can see what you can't see, but you can also see things that she can't see. And that's why that union becomes so powerful when you guys are aligned. I'm telling you, she can look at your homeboys and tell you, oh, there's not any good for you. And be with pinpoint accuracy. And 2 years later, some drama happens in your life, and the very person she told you to watch out for 2 years ago is the same person that hurt you. It just took you 2 years to catch up to what she knew in this moment. I'm telling you. Yeah, that woman is, I'm telling you, she's one of the coldest creatures, man, God has ever created, if not the coldest. No cap. It's one of the coldest creatures that God has ever created when you fully understand how she works. If you don't understand how she works, you won't, but that's with anything in life. You know, if you don't have a full appreciation about how something works, how can you value it if you really don't understand how it works? Okay, yeah. So the mirror, the window, and the door. So with the mirror, when a person comes into your life, right? So certain people come into your life that are mirrors, certain people come into your life that are windows, and then certain people come into your life that are doors. It's rare that you get someone that's all three. The mirrors are the people that are reflecting back your strengths. They're reflecting your weaknesses. They're reflecting where fear reigns over love in you. They're reflecting your wounds back to you. They're reflecting different things that you need to work on within yourself. Okay, those are the mirrors. They represent high value. The windows don't do what the mirrors do, right? The windows are only the people that reflect your potential. They're like a real window, right? And they open you up to some future potential. They open you up to some opportunity. They open you up to something that you may be able to take advantage of, right? It may be you guys, start a business together, or you guys write a book together, or you guys, do something together, right? They're going to bring an opportunity that you are blind to in this moment. Okay, the opportunity comes from the window. Now, the doors are the people that are going to be in your life forever. And the doors are, they no matter what happens, the doors are going to always be there because the doors love you unconditionally, right? A grandparent can be a door. A significant other can be a door. A coach can be a door. A martial arts instructor for you can be a door. A teacher, maybe from 3rd grade, 5th grade, that you still are in contact with, can be a door. The doors are the people that see you for real. You don't have to wear masks. You don't have to pretend. You don't have to put on. You don't have to do anything. You get to be yourself, and you feel so amazing when you're around the doors because they love you for who you are. In fact, there's nothing that you could do to get them to not see you, to see you differently, right? There's nothing that you could do, no mistake that you could make that would get them to change their perception of who you are. So again, the mirrors, the windows, and the doors. And if you look over your life right now here's your job. Your job is to know how to categorize the different people that are coming in and out of your life. You need to know who the mirrors are. You need to know who your windows are, and you need to know who the doors are. And again, certain people, it's rare, but certain people can represent all three. They may have started out as a mirror, and then boom, they became a window, right? And then before you know it, this person is a staple in your life now. Now they're a door in your life. But that's rare. I mean, it's super rare. Sometimes at the same time, it all depends. Like for some of my students, I am a mirror, right? Because I'm reflecting your future back to you. I'm reflecting your potential back to you. I'm reflecting that back to you. But I'm also a window. Right. And I'm a window because I open a lot of my students up to coaching opportunities and different things like that. Right. They're opening them up to opportunities that wasn't available to them before our paths crossed. But then I'm a door, and I'm a door for them because the relationship is lifelong. Right. I'll always be their coach because, you only get so many firsts in life. Right, that person, the first time you learned how to drive, whoever that person was, your first kiss, whoever that was, your first relationship, whoever that was, your first child, whoever that was, your first love. But that person that brought you to self-awareness, that person that brought you to that's a first as well. So you only get so many firsts in life. And so for some of my students, not all of them, but for some of my students, I represent all three. Does that make sense? Yeah, because some of my students are doing things now in terms of coaching and different things that they weren't doing before, or content creating, or just something that they never imagined that they would be doing that they're doing right now, right? And it's a lifelong relationship because I'll never stop pouring into them, right? And so that's the door, if that makes sense. Turning heads, I see you, beloved. Man, I need you to put your seatbelt on. Red, I see you, beloved. Men, I need you to put your seatbelt on. Strap in tight. Coach, don't do it. Don't put us out there. Yeah, it's coming. Men, put your seatbelts on right now, damn it. Put your seatbelts on. Put them on. Goddamn, put them on. Strap in tight. I'm giving you time now. Don't say I didn't give you time. Yeah. Come on, Letitia. Come on, beloved. Strap them ear strap them AirPods, whatever the hell they call them. Strap them in. Put them beats in. Yeah, I don't want to hear no excuses. Coach, halfway through my thing fell out. Yeah, no excuses. Come on. Yeah, back that Chevy up. Back that Chevy up and put it in park. You might want to pull over if you're driving. You might just want to pull over. I don't want you to get a speed ticket. Coach, you started talking, I hit the gas. Before I know it, goddammit. This part right here is exclusively for the men. And it's coming from all love. 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 That just reminds me when I said back there Chevy up. It reminds me of a client that I had. He's a farmer. Super country. You just had to love him. Super country. All right, let's get busy. Let's get busy. Man, here we go. I appreciate that, Bumpy Lisha. I appreciate that. So she said, now I'm scared. No, it's there's something that's happening with men that's becoming an epidemic, like for real. Do me a favor, you guys, and share the live to your stories real quick if you haven't already done so. Share the live to your stories real quick if you haven't already done so. Let's get the likes up, you guys, so that we can get the medicine out. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. All right, here we go. Boom, we're diving in. We're going straight to the bottom of the ocean. Lust is destroying men. Come on, fellas. It's becoming an epidemic, man. It's out of control now. It's out of control. I'm talking about it's out of control. Lust is destroying men. I'm talking about destroying them. It's not women, so we're not going to blame them. Leave them out of it. They have absolutely nothing to do with what I'm getting ready to say right now. So it's not women. It's not love. We're going to take love and women out of the equation. It's lust. It's costing men everything. It's costing them their marriage. It's costing them their money. It's costing them their legacies. Millionaires have lost their empires over 5 minutes of pleasure. I'm talking about all that time it took you to build that empire, and 5 minutes of pleasure cost you everything. For example, Shannon Sharp, he had a $90 million deal on the table with ESPN. You're talking about the biggest sports network on the planet. 90 million gone. Come on now. For a woman that he claimed he didn't even like that much. Sharon Moore. You're talking about one of the first black head coaches of Michigan. That's an elite program, college football program. This dude then started some relationship with one of the trainers. You're talking about the top head coach, black head coach of a historically white football program. Ruined his entire life behind lust. Bill Cosby, that was everyone's favorite dad. Whole legacy ruined. Bill Cosby was flawless until we found out about all of this stuff. All these secrets, all lust driven. I'm just qualifying my point. I'm not saying anything negative toward them. I'm giving you public information. It's not like I'm making this stuff up. Let me tell you something about wisdom. True wisdom means that I don't have to experience what you experienced in order for me to learn from it. Man, that's wisdom. Because what your ego is telling you right now is, oh, well, that's not going to be me, coach. Them dudes were slipping. Them dudes were doing this. No. Wisdom means that I don't have to experience what you experienced. I can learn from your experiences. I can pay attention to what happened to you. And I can take what happened to you and apply that to my life so it doesn't happen to me. That's wisdom. But your ego will convince you that you're going to be different, that you can get away with it, that they slipped, that they made mistakes. And then you end up 5 years from now, 2 years from now, 1 year from now, exactly like them. They don't ruin your life behind some lust. Look at Diddy. Public humiliation. Whole life turned upside down. People making a Netflix series about the man and all these other things like that. Look at what he's put his kids through. We understand what happened to him, but damn, his kids weren't a part of that. Look at R. Kelly, one of my favorite R&B singers. Whole career ruined. R. Kelly was on the verge of becoming one of the greatest R&B singers of all time. In terms of just album sales and #1 hits and all of those things like that. Look at what happened to the man. All of these men have one thing in common: lust. Kobe Bryant, same thing. He's sitting here in Colorado. You sitting here making out with the housekeeper, and somehow, some way, that story got out to the press. Public humiliation for his wife and for his daughters. Damn near ruined his career. For sure, put a stain on his legacy. It doesn't matter whether it was allegedly or not. It stained his legacy. I'm sitting here talking about it. It's all in the press. So much so the man went and bought her a $4 million purple diamond. You don't buy somebody a $4 million purple diamond if you didn't do anything. I said the man went and bought her a $4 million purple diamond. Why would you do that if you didn't do anything? Why would you do it? You wouldn't do it. You wouldn't buy somebody a $400 ring if you knew you didn't do what the people are accusing you of. No, you do things like that because you feel so terrible. See, when you're operating, when you make it to a certain level of success, you got to move different, man. You can't be putting yourself in all these compromising situations. You can't. That low vibrational person should have never even been in the same room with him. What do you even do? That part right there, Mike Tyson, that's another good one. Lust. Now, was I in the room? Were you in the room? No, it doesn't matter. It sent the man to prison. So that's what I'm saying, man. We as men, we got to understand that. And again, you can't blame the woman. That's nothing to do with her. It's called a lack of discipline. Arnold Schwarzenegger is another great one. He making out with the help. Had a baby with the help. And again, this isn't to throw these men under the bus. I'm not saying anything. Ray Lewis is another good one. I'm not saying anything that isn't public because I don't really talk about other people's business. But my job right now is to bring certain things to my students' awareness. What are we doing here? If you don't have no control over yourself, you don't have any business being in a relationship. I'm just going to be honest with you. You should not be in a relationship then. How you gonna lead somebody? See, this is what we gotta understand. The most important person you will ever lead is yourself. Period. The most important person you will ever lead in life is yourself. If you can't successfully lead you, how you gonna lead her? Think about what I'm saying to you. If you can't successfully lead yourself, how are you going to lead her? If you know you got all of these lust issues and you've got commitment issues, yeah, Bill Clinton is another good one. You got commitment issues, you got loyalty issues. If your loyalty requires effort, you ain't got no business being in a relationship. If you got to do all this thinking so that you can be loyal to your woman, you have no business being in a relationship. Loyalty should not require effort. It shouldn't require all of that thinking. It shouldn't require all of that discipline. It should be, I love my woman so much, I would never put me or her in some compromising position for somebody that I really don't even know. You got a whole human being sitting at home. You got a whole woman sitting at home. You got kids sitting at home. You got a family sitting at home. How you moving through the world, dog? Look at how you moving through the world. Porn is ruining men. I'm just going to throw it out there. And in your mind, you think it's innocent, but it's not. Because it's ruining your ability to really be intimate with her. And in your mind, you think you're not cheating on her, but you really are. You're just doing it virtually. The same energy and the intimacy that you having in that moment by yourself is really what's supposed to be going to her. And I tell you guys this all the time. What are you being loyal to? Because what you're being loyal to is the very thing that's going to destroy you. That could be positive, that could be negative. So you got all these men walking around with this porn addiction, and you got this porn addiction that you secretly have, and then you turn around and you jump in a relationship with her. And the moment that you guys get in some fight, you go lock yourself in the room and you sit there and watch porn for hours, but you won't read for hours. You won't take that same time to go build a business. You won't take that same time and invest it in changing your lives, but you go sit and watch porn for hours. I know men, like I coach them every day. It takes you, it numbs you to the relationship. All them people in these movies that you watch, and they're acting. They just doing their job. Your life does not reflect that. She can't live up to what they doing. They paying them people to do that. She's not going to live up to that. And the moment that you guys have some fight, some argument, some disagreement, you use that as your invitation to go and sit and binge watch porn, to numb yourself to the reality, to numb yourself to your pain, to numb yourself to your problems. That's your escape. I got executives and CEOs that I coach every single day. They go to the strip club on the weekends like it's a normal thing. Got a whole wife sitting at home. You didn't fell in love with the woman in the club, who's only telling you what you want to hear. That's her job. You think you done something. You think she's really impressed with you. No, she's impressed with what you can do for her in that moment. You got a wife at home that loves you for real. Or a girlfriend at home that loves you for real. This person is only loving you for what you can do for them. If you couldn't do anything, they wouldn't be talking to you. Go for a week straight. If you like doing that, go for a week straight and don't give her any money. For that person that you're running into that club to go in when you should be at home with your woman, go to that club for a week straight and tell her, I don't have anything to do for you, and watch how she treats you. I dare you to do it. Since you think she loves you for real, I dare you to do that. Go for a week straight and just let her know I don't have no money, but I want you to still come and spend the same time with me, and watch how she laughs at you. Watch how she conveniently find a way to get out of that every single time. You got a whole woman sitting at home. See, what's crazy is all of these men that I highlighted, right? Let me just highlight them again. The Shannon Sharps of the world, the Sharon Moores, the Bill Cosbys, the Diddy's, the R. Kellys. All of these men had powerful positions. All of these men had powerful platforms. All of these men had built legacies, and they were all brought to their knees, all of them. Well, why were they brought to their knees? Lack of discipline. You don't have any discipline. If you don't have no discipline, that means that you're a liability, dog. You're a liability. You're a liability not only to yourself, you're a liability to every relationship you step into. You knew you were a liability before you stepped into the relationship. You knew you loved the porn. You've never been loyal to anybody for real. You've never been committed to anybody for real. But you'll take this person, whining and dining them in the beginning of the relationship, telling them that you're gonna be everything they need. And then once that person falls in love with you, you're gonna spiral back into who you were before you ever stepped in foot in that relationship. And that's how people are moving, man. And I know 9 out of 10 dudes I'm talking to right now. I'm gonna leave that window open just in case there's one person. 9 out of 10 people I'm talking to, they know I'm telling the truth. The females may not fully understand what I'm saying. They know exactly what I'm saying. Lust doesn't just ruin lives, it rewires your brain. It convinces you that desire is more important than destiny. That's what it does. It rewires your brain. It convinces you that desire is more important than destiny. All of those men fumbled their legacy, fumbled their careers, fumbled their wives, their families for lust because they had no discipline in them. You say you want a good woman, you say you want a family, but then you'll gamble all of that over a woman that you claim doesn't even matter. Because you're not healed. That's the problem. You're not healed. How do you lose everything for someone you claim that you didn't even really like that? Every time somebody get caught in some situation, I ain't even really like her like that. But you fumbled everything we got. So damn, what would you really done for the person that you really did like? If you fumbled me for the person that you really didn't like that, what would you have done for the person that you would have been head over heels for? If someone that you really didn't like that would cause you to lose everything, cause you to fumble me, cause you to fumble our family, well, damn, I hate to see what you would have done for that person you really liked. Damn, what are we talking about here? Again, porn has numbed you, man. It's taking you out the game. And what's worse is you can't walk away from it. It's an addiction for you. You can't walk away from it. Every chance you get, you run into it. I don't have to know you to know that. Social media has desensitized you. These dating apps have desensitized you. There was a time when you had to really walk in a bar or go to some club or go to some event to meet a woman. And you were only going to meet a woman that lived in close proximity to that particular club or that event or that social gathering. Now you've got all of these dating apps. You can meet 1,000 women in an hour. Literally. You can literally get on one of these dating apps right now and meet 1,000 women in an hour. When there was a time you couldn't meet 1,000 women in a day. Just scrolling. So we get desensitized. All of that is affecting the way you see women. It's affecting the way you show up in relationships. It's affecting the way you love. It's affecting everything. Because you think you got all these options. So the moment that something doesn't work the way you need it to work, you ready to bail on the situation or run back to the porn or go in and chase your desires. When if that woman wasn't what you needed her to be, you should have left the relationship, dog. That's all you got to do. If that person isn't what you need from them, leave the relationship and leave her in peace, not pieces. Just leave the relationship. If you knew, you see, here's the thing. We know as men, if we can be everything you need us to be from the gate, we know that. But when you are going after what you want from the relationship, you're going to just tell that person whatever it is they want to hear so that you can get what you want to get. And then once you get what you want to get, you don't mind breaking somebody's heart. You don't mind letting somebody down. You don't mind doing all of those things because that's a pattern for you. Because you probably never stayed in the relationship for a long time because the relationship with yourself isn't powerful. I'm going to have a powerful relationship with someone else when the relationship with myself is weak. And that's what porn does. It makes you have a really weak relationship with yourself, and it makes you have a weak relationship with every single person you meet. Because you just become outcomes driven. Everything is about some outcome. You don't even know what intimacy is. You don't know what romance is, right? We don't understand that. Lust doesn't care about how powerful, how educated, or how much money you have. It'll take every gift that God gave you and turn it into your downfall. I said lust will take every single gift that God has given you, all of them, and turn that into your downfall. Now you down at the bottom of the barrel again, looking up. And it's going to take you a long time to get back. Some of those men that I highlighted will never make it back. You need discipline in your life. You don't need another woman. You need discipline in your life. See, here's what's mind blowing to me. Let me just say this. Here's what's mind blowing to me. Most men, I'm not gonna say all of them, but most men, you can't take care of the one woman you got. Most men cannot successfully take care of the one woman they have. And when I say take care of her, I'm talking about taking care of whatever her wants, needs, and desires are. We fail at that. And then you got the audacity to turn around when you already falling short with her, to turn around and you got some side woman on the situation, or some woman at the strip club, or some virtual woman that's in your phone. You ain't taking care of the one. So the only thing you're doing is you're creating problems everywhere you go. Nobody's happy. You can't take care of the one you got at home. You can't take care of the one you got on the side. You can't take care of the one you got in your phone. You can't take, what are you taking care of? And then we got the audacity to add someone new to our lives because because we do that when the person that we're with is being our mirror. And we don't like what's being reflected back to us. So then we think we're gonna go over here because I don't have any problems with this woman. She doesn't know what's going on in your dark. She don't know your secrets yet. She haven't caught up to your game yet. She hasn't caught up to the programming and conditioning yet. She hasn't caught up to that yet. The only reason why that you think your woman nags you, or you think she's whatever, she irritates you, or whatever the case may be, is because she's caught up to your games. She's caught up to your patterns. You can't trick her anymore like you could in the beginning. That's really all that means. You just can't trick her anymore. This new one you can trick because she ain't been around you long enough to know what's really going on with you. You can't trick her anymore. The woman you got at home sees through your mask. So you don't like what's being reflected to you. So what do? You go get somebody on the side. Why do you get the person on the side? Because that person on the side, they don't know you like that yet. But at some point in time, that person on the side is going to see you the same way that the woman at home sees you. And then you end up leaving her. So I'm just saying, you got all of these landmines that you creating, all of these bad relationships that you creating because you don't understand that the problem is you. You got to take care of you, dog. How you going to ever build an empire? How you going to ever leave a legacy when you can't be committed to anything? I'm telling you, it's tearing us up, man. Lust is tearing us up. It's tearing us up. It's tearing us up. Destroying. What you don't understand about lust will take everything that love was trying to build. Don't ever forget that. Lust will take every single thing from you that love was trying to build. Let me say this to the ladies real quick. Let me say this to the ladies real quick, and then I'm gonna wrap this up. Let me say this to the ladies real quick. Ladies, here's something that you need to understand about men that maybe you don't understand right now. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. What happened to the little boy is affecting the grown man. What happened to the little boy in him is affecting the grown man in ways that you can't even imagine. What happened to the little boy is affecting the grown man. You got to understand that. Most men, here's what you got to understand, ladies. Most men are in just as much pain as you are. Most men walking around right now are in just as much pain as you are, if not more. But we've been programmed and conditioned to hide our pain, to suck it up, to stop being so sensitive. I'm just giving you the facts. And as a result of that, we end up projecting all of that pain that we were taught not to show. We end up projecting that pain onto you. And I'm not here trying to absolve anyone, right? I'm not taking the blame off of it. This is not what this is about. I'm not saying that whatever happened to you in the past wasn't wrong. It's not what I'm saying. But you got to have a panoramic understanding of what's going on. You can't just see the situation from your perspective. You got to see it from all sides. What happened to that little boy in him that you probably don't know anything about is affecting the grown man. Some of the choices he makes, some of the decisions he makes is coming from that little boy version of him. And here's what I need you to understand. What happens to us is this, as men, I can't speak for women because clearly I've never been one. What happens for men is this. When we get hurt, whether it was by a parent, a father that abandoned us, somebody did something to us, touched us inappropriately, our mother abandoned us, we didn't get the love we needed, we didn't get the nurturing we needed, right? We didn't get the safety and all of the things that we needed. Like we need certain things. Okay, when we don't get that, right? And then someone comes along and they do something to us. It could have been a situation where somebody got bullied, somebody got beaten up really bad, a family member, somebody close to that man did something to the man. That's what I need you to understand. And when they did something to the man, his authenticity was fractured. His authenticity was cracked. But because before that happened, he was fine. See, the little boy version of him before that event took place was running around and riding bikes and, you know, jumping over things and just daredevil and all of the cool stuff that kids do. But someone came into that little boy's life and they did something to him. And at that time, that emotion was so powerful that he didn't know how to process that. He had never experienced that before. So his authenticity was fractured. Now think about that record player like we talk about. So emotionally, the pause button was hit. And when that pause button in him was hit, he never really matured much past that little boy version of him. Yeah, he's a grown man now. He might be big and strong now. But so much of what he does is really to satisfy the little boy in him that's been fractured. So what does he do? He chases money because he thinks that that's what the little boy version of him is going to want. That's what's going to heal him, but it won't. He chases women because he thinks that that's what's going to heal that broken little boy in him, but it doesn't. He chases success. And he thinks that that's what's going to heal that broken little boy version of him, but it doesn't. And he goes out in the world and he's chasing all of these things, never realizing and understanding that that broken little boy in him didn't need the money, didn't need the women, didn't need the success. That version of him needed unconditional love. That version of him needed safety. That's what he never received. What caused him to become fractured is the very thing that he needed to receive. He needed unconditional love. He needed safety. He needed healing. But he went looking for it in women. He went looking for it in money. He went looking for it in success. And trust me, he captured all of those things. But he still felt empty on the inside. And then he met you. And then he met you. And you guys may have had children. You may have started a family. You may have all of these things. But that version of him that's not healed is still alive in him. And so many of his decisions are coming from that version of him. And so it's important for us to understand it. That's why I tell you guys all the time, if you're going to get into a serious relationship, man, you got to implement self-awareness and you've got to implement emotional intelligence so that you guys can heal together. Because if not, you're just covering up what's broken. That's like me punching a hole in the wall. And instead of us patching the wall, we just go get some wallpaper. And then I get mad again and I punch the wall 2 weeks later. Giant hole in the wall. But then we just go get some wallpaper. And I do it again. And then we just go get some wallpaper. Okay, well, at some point in time, we got to stop punching holes in the wall. And that's what it's like in him. There's holes that have been punched in him that he's just covered it up with wallpaper. The wallpaper being a metaphor for the money. The wallpaper being a metaphor for women. The wallpaper being a metaphor for filling the blank. He's covered in wallpaper. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, he's covered in wallpaper, but he's still broken. The holes are still there, right? The wallpaper only masks what he doesn't want to deal with. I'm telling you, what hurt the little boy is affecting the grown man. This is the realest thing I could ever tell you. All right, boom. All right, let me wrap it up on that. That part right there. And we speak from our voids, right? That's beautifully said. Beautifully said. You know, we start speak. When we get triggered, we start speaking from the void. When we chasing this, we're chasing something because we're trying to fill the void. When we go get this woman over here, we're trying to fill the void. That porn that he watches is to fill a void. He's not watching the porn just because it's porn. He's watching the porn because it fills some void. It's filling something that's empty in him. He doesn't understand what he needs, and what he needs is he needs to heal. He's not healed. So I don't blame him, right? Something happened that fractured his authenticity. I'm telling you now, he hasn't evolved much since the incident. That's what I need you to know. Whenever that incident happened, whether he was 8 years old, 10 years old, 12 years old, 15 years old, it doesn't matter. Whatever the age of that incident, he hasn't matured much emotionally since then. Intellectually, he can be walking around with a PhD. But emotionally, he's walking around with general education, a GED, PhD from the world, GED when it comes to emotional intelligence. And I'm giving him a lot of credit on that. All right, boom. And again, that's you know, and it's not his fault, you know what I mean? But that's why I'm saying, if you genuinely love him, you guys got to heal together, man, or the relationship's gonna always be in trouble. And I tell you guys this all the time, you know, and I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna get out of here. I say this to you guys all the time, you know, inside of every person that you know, there's a version of them that you don't know. And that's what's important to understand. Inside of every person that you know, there's a version of them that you don't know. And that version of him that you don't know is that wounded version of him. And that version of him emerges when no one else is around. Right? All right. Having said all of that, that's it on that. Yeah. Having said all of that, that part right there, Sir Presley, the 99 versus the one. And again, I'm not talking about the guys that are on your self-awareness journey. I'm not talking about the guys that are doing the healing work. I appreciate that, Alana. I appreciate that, beloved. I'm not talking about the guys that are even on that process, to becoming something more powerful than you are in this moment. I'm just talking about the people that, and this is, it's not a bad thing. It's not a knock. It's just reality. It's a reality that we have to face. Because if not, your whole life is going to be driven by lust. Your life is going to be driven by a lack of discipline. Your life is going to be driven by, and it doesn't matter what you amass, you're going to end up throwing it all away because lust will hold the steering wheel to who you are. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, beloved. Type me in the comments real quick. If this is your first time on the live stream with me, type me real fast so I can do a quick outro, and then I will see you guys tonight. We'll be going live tonight inside of the community. We will be going live tonight inside of the community. Got it. You just came in. Got it. Let me see how many me's. 7 p.m. Central Time. 7 p.m. Central Time. Tonight, not here on TikTok, but in our private community. No, Kev, I know what you mean. It took me forever. That's the only reason why I can speak intelligently on this, because it took me forever. And then for all of the people that I coach every single day and just dealing with that, like people, yeah, it's rough for the man. But once that man gets on the other side, he's something special. So real quick, my name is Jordan Williams. I am a certified life coach. Specialized in self-awareness, self-mastery, relationship mastery, emotional intelligence, consciousness. I specialize in helping my students and my clients all over the world become the greatest, strongest, and most powerful versions of themselves. I've been coaching for 2 decades now. I have coached top celebrities, top athletes, executives, politicians, doctors, lawyers, everyday moms and pops. I am also the best-selling author of this book, The Secret of Awareness. How powerful are you ready to be? The book is a bestseller. It is a game changer. What I want to talk to you guys about is, self-awareness. I've created an exclusive community, which is one of the fastest growing communities on social media to date. The community is powerful. And what makes the community powerful is what we teach, right? It's all about mindset mastery. That's what it's all about now. In 2026, that has to be your focus and your mission, right? To master your mindset, to master self, because the beginning of all wisdom is to know yourself, right? The beginning of all knowledge is self-knowledge, right? How can I know more about the world than I know about myself? And that's pretty much what we coach. So inside this community, we coach, I teach self-awareness, I teach self-mastery, emotional intelligence, relationship mastery, consciousness. And I teach my students and my clients, how to become unlocked and how to become unleashed fully. Because the best gift that you can ever give yourself is the gift of you. Because you're the creator of everything. Think about what I'm saying. Everything is coming from you. The relationship, the kids, the cars, the jewelry, the clothes, the jobs, the opportunities, everything is coming from you. Nothing's coming from anything outside of you. You either create or you manifest or you attract everything that's happening in your life right now. It's all coming from you. And if you've had some level of success already, with you not being the most powerful version of yourself, what would your life look like when you become the most powerful version of yourself? And that's what's important. And that's what I coach and that's what I teach. I've been the secret weapon for so many of my celebrity clients and so many of the athletes that I coach for a long time. I've been their secret weapon. And now it's time for me to become yours. I've created a brand of awareness that you won't find anywhere on the planet. And it's called motivational awareness. And that's where motivation, inspiration, self-awareness, self-mastery, and emotional intelligence all intersect. Why is that important? Because motivation is only a feeling. It comes and it goes. So you can go into the motivational seminar and you're going to get pumped up for a little while. And then you're going to go back home and you're going to lose that pump. And then you're going to go right back to being who you were. Same thing with your New Year's resolution. You probably had all of these New Year's resolutions of everything you were going to do, right? And then slowly we start to go back into who we used to be, and then we're not even doing the thing that we said we were going to do at the beginning of the year, right? And so, and then when you talk about inspiration is a wonderful thing as well. You know what I mean? But inspiration, like motivation, it's a feeling. It's going to come and it's going to go. You need to understand that all of the feelings that you're experiencing can only come from you, you know? And so I don't want to be motivated. I don't want to be inspired. You know, I want to be awakened. I want to be self-aware. I want to understand why everything that's happening in my life is happening. I want to understand why every single person that's coming into my life is coming into my life. Because once you become unlocked, you don't need motivation. Once you become unlocked, you don't need inspiration, because once you become that version of yourself where you're operating from a place of unconditional love and you're operating from your highest vibrational frequency, you don't need people to pump you up. I haven't needed someone to pump me up and I don't know how long. You're already a force multiplier by nature. You are a force multiplier by nature. That's what you are. You don't need people to pump you up and to motivate you. You only need people to pump you up and motivate you when you're not operating out of your purpose. And that's another reason why the community is so important, is because my purpose in life is to help you find yours. It's my purpose. And I'm good at that, right? There's a lot of things that I'm not good at, but when it comes to helping you discover what your purpose is and helping you to get in alignment with your purpose, it's one of my gifts. So, you know, and you have to understand, certain people come into our lives for a reason. There's a reason why you're having this. There's a reason why you're here right now. Don't lose sight of that. It's not because of your FYP. It's not because you were just scrolling on social media, even though that's what your ego told you. That's not why you're here. There's something that your spirit needs, that it's ready for. Whether that's you stepping into your purpose, whether that's you starting the journey to getting to your purpose, whether that's you getting past your anxiety, you getting beyond your depression. Maybe you've gone through a bad breakup. Maybe you've had your heart broken a time or two and you still haven't healed from that. Maybe your past is affecting you a little bit too much. Maybe you procrastinate too much. Maybe you lack self-confidence right now. There's something spiritually that your spirit needs before you can get to that next level in life, because you got to understand, you can't get to your new life if you're still dragging the old one behind you, right? That's important. Like, how you gonna get to the next level if you're still hanging on to the last one? And so we oftentimes, the biggest mistake we make is we're trying to take people to the top with us that don't even want to see us at the top. If you want to just be honest, we're trying to drag people with us that really don't want to see us there secretly, right? Because maybe that person may be jealous or envious of you and you just really don't see it. And so what self-awareness is going to teach you is focus on you. Get to the top of your mountain first. Stop helping other people climb their ladders. And then once they get to the top of their ladder, you still at the bottom of yours. No, get to the top of your ladder. That's the best way that you can help people. You want to motivate people and inspire people by what you do with your life, not what you say you're going to do, but by what you do. And that's what this community is about. It's about action. We're all about action. We don't like to do all that talking. You know, it's about, what are you going to do? Not what do you say, what are you going to do? And so as your virtual life coach and as your mentor and as your force multiplier, I'm going to hold you accountable. I'm going to speak a level of truth to you that probably the majority of the people in your life don't really speak to you, because they're too busy trying to please you. Because when people start to understand your patterns and they start to understand your emotions, they start to talk around your emotions. They talk around your patterns. Why? Because they know what sets you off. They know what makes you happy. They know what makes you sad. Let's look at your kids. Your kids know exactly how to talk to you. They're the best qualifiers to what I'm saying. They know exactly how to talk to you. They know when to ask you for things. They know when you're in a good mood, when you're in a bad mood, the same way you knew how your parents were. People understand your patterns. And once they understand your patterns, They start talking around you, and they start talking around your feelings and emotions because nobody wants to set you off. Right? And so that's what it's all about. And so, the Mindset Masters community, what's going to happen? You're going to become unlocked. You're going to become unleashed. You're going to become the most powerful version of yourself. You're not going to struggle with depression anymore. You're not going to struggle with anxiety anymore. You're not going to struggle with the fear anymore. You're not going to struggle with the limiting beliefs anymore. You won't have all this doubt in you, all this worry, all this stress. All of those things are the byproduct of your programming and conditioning. All of those things are the byproduct of your thinking. And so, because those are all thinking errors, all of them are all thinking errors, which is a very easy fix. So having said all of that, with the Mindset Masters community, what it's going to come with, it comes with 2 life coaches, 1 executive coach. That's important, but I'll be the primary coach for you. So everything that I know, you will know, period. That's the goal. I don't want you leaving the community until you know what I know. And then once you know what I know, you take that out to the world, but know it in a way that's unique to you. That's in a way that's unique to your temperament and your personality and your style, because I operate differently than you do, of course, but the information is still the same. There's a series of words that has the power to unlock any human being. Think about what I'm saying. There are a series of words that, when said in the proper sequence, can unlock any human being. And I've been doing this for 2 decades now. Most of my students I've never been in the same room with, and they are unlocked. They are unleashed. They are versions of themselves that they have never been in their lives, because I understand those words. And the same words that unlock them will be the same words that unlock you. And that's the point, to become unlocked. You are both the cage and the key to your life. You are both the warden and the inmate to your life. You are both the future and the past to your life. You are in possession of the worst version of you. You are also in possession of the best version of you. And it's all predicated on what you choose to believe about yourself. We have to change your self-concept if you're not where you want to be in life, because we can't keep operating out of the old self-concept and build that new life at the same time. So this is all about you rebuilding yourself mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, so that you can come out and be the greatest, strongest, and most powerful version of yourself. That part right there, Aquarian goddess, and you set yourself free. Again, you're the cage and the key. Every time you doubt yourself, you lock the cage. Every time you suffering from anxiety, you lock the cage. Every time depression is in your life, you lock the cage. Every time you show up small in your relationships, you lock the cage. Every time that you don't operate out of your authenticity, you lock the cage. So you've been locking the cage to your life this entire time. That's why you're not where you want to be right now, because you're locking your own cage. Then you wondering why you can't move any further. You keep locking the cage, but you're also the key. So we don't want to unlock the cage. We want to dismantle it, so there's no more cage left. We got time to be locking. We don't want to lock anything. Let's just dismantle the cage altogether, and then we don't have any more problems. Let's break it. Okay, the cage is in your mind. It's all in your mind, right? So having said all of that, if you are truly ready to become the greatest version of yourself, not a better version of yourself, you can read a book and become a better version of yourself. If you are truly ready to become the greatest version of yourself, type me in the comments right now, and let's focus on getting you signed up. Okay, so this is what we're going to want to do, you guys. So I'm offering a free 7-day trial for the community. And the reason why we want to do a free 7-day trial is because we are very, what's the word I'm looking for? We are very, we're tight when it comes to who we allow to have access to the community, because the community it's sacred ground for us. You know what I mean? It's where people grow. It's a safe zone. It's where you can be vulnerable. It's where you don't have to wear the mask. Protected. Thank you, beloved. That's what I was looking for. Particular that too, Red. Thank you, beloved. And we don't want just anyone in the community. It's just not that serious for us. So the reason why we want to do the 7-day trial is because we want to make sure that you are a good fit for the community, and we want to also make sure that we're a good fit for you. It has to be a synergistic relationship where all parties benefit. So what you guys are going to want to do is copy and paste that link that Tara has there, and then put it in your browser, and it's going to take you to the free 7-day trial. Right, copy and paste that link. It's going to take you to the free 7-day trial. Yeah, we're super, super, super protective over the community. We have to be, right? We have to be. So again, copy and paste the link, put it in your browser, and then it's going to take you to get your free 7-day trial once you guys get signed up. And then remember, I'm going live tonight. That's another thing too. I do exclusive live streams in the community every Tuesday and Thursday evening at 7 p.m. Central. Tonight's live is going to be lit. You will not want to miss it. It's going to run circles around this one. Tonight's live is going to be lit. So again, every Tuesday and Thursday evening, 7 p.m. Central Time, we go live. The live tonight will be lit. Especially if you're a new community member, you won't want to miss tonight's live. You won't want to miss it.